lovely Munchkins, and how you can see in this video, in today's, I will tell you the worst experience in a cosplay which I ever had. And for little warning, this video is not for children like any of my videos, but this is really not for children. And if this video is watched by any Slovak or Czech person, please don't start hating me after this video, because I don't care. So, I loved doing cosplay, so I loved that, it was inspiring, I could use my creativity and blah blah blah. I love doing that. But over the years, it just became the worst experience ever. And let me get this straight. If I will be doing cosplay, still, I will be a freaking cosplay veteran. Like, seriously, I'll be so old to doing cosplay. Because in this day, I will be doing cosplay for 16 years. Almost 17 years, okay? If I still be in a cosplay community. My cosplay community in which I grow up is conjoined by two countries. It's Slovak Republic, which I was born in, and Czech or Czechia, however you want to call it. These two communities were just like conjoined because I was like, we are very similar, we almost speak in the same language, we do understand, we don't need to use English or any, we just understand each other, and our communities, mostly in every single thing, are conjoined, so the cosplay community is nothing else. And when I started, I actually never met, to be fair, any Czech person. Like ever, when I started to do cosplay. But after years evolving, there were so many Czech people that there were basically much more Czech people than Slovak people. I always just heard a Czech word than Slovak word. I was like, I'm still in Slovakia, or did it just move countries and didn't even like recognize that? But no. I never hated that or anything, I don't want to sound like that, but it was just kind of frustrating that I didn't met that much Slovak people, and if I did, they were just like squished a little bit, like there were too many of Czech people, and it was really funny, but every single hater which I ever had were mostly from Czech Republic. Which was even more funny because I never cared about Czech cosplayers, like, at all. I never had a favorite Czech cosplayer. I never hated on Czech cosplayers. But I had one Czech cosplayer in common because of my nickname. And to be straight with you guys, I'm using Lizzy as a nickname from the age of 10, which will be now 17 years. And this girl, this Lizzy, which I had the biggest problem, was just a 15-year-old chick. Like, at that time, she is, I was around in 19, I would say. She was just 15 or even less than 15 because she and her way of talking was really childish, so I mostly thought that she's like 10 or 11 maybe. But after a few times I learned that she was during the conflict around 14 to 15 and her friends were basically the same age. And the most biggest bad thing about this was that there were multiple confession sites about cosplay in Czech and Slovak community. And well, these pages were the worst of the worst because people love to troll, love to hate, love to spread negativity all over the world, and people let them, mostly the admins of the pages, let them like go and spread the hate and let those poor souls self-harm themselves because whatever. And from the beginning there were lots of confessions like this person should probably like herself or something like that. But after like few things, they stopped posting these things, so people which couldn't write out on confessions as the anonyms, they started write that to us, like directly to us. So basically, I was really happy that during that time Facebook invented the other messages, like your primary messages with your friends and the other section where someone who is not your friend but they wrote you, it went go there like right away, the other section. And I always had like tons of messages, and during that time I even a few of them just shared like there, like look what this kid wrote me, and there was almost every single one of them were like kids, but the messages were like, I should myself, I should lose weight, I should go drown myself, and messages like this every single time. And mostly I never had moments like I would do that, but sometimes when on convention actually people came to me and told me to do that, I was kind of like depressed, I wouldn't lie, and I did self-harmed myself because of that. And I was in such stress, I was on diet, like I didn't eat for weeks, months almost. I ended up in hospital because of that, because I didn't even took my thyroid gland pills, which were extreme for me. When I didn't took them, it was extremely harmful for me. If you don't know the diagnosis, I will link everything down below. And due to this, I was in hospital, I was under control, under lots of doctors and bullshit, and it was just like so bad with me. But after one incident, it got even worse. It went from cyberbullying, which was okay, like I don't care, even that currently cyberbullying is like you can go and turn those people to go on the police and show the evidence and everything and IP and blah blah blah. You can just go and turn those people in. Police will mostly just laugh at you like that's nothing, even that it's crime actually, finally. But from this it went in actual attack on convention in Czechia or Czech Republic, however you want to call the country. And it was even worse because I went on this convention by myself, alone, without my former partner. Me and my former partner, we were chubby cosplayers, which was like no freaking way in the Czech and Slovak communities. There's like, you can't do that. And to be honest guys, did you ever saw a chubby main character or even side character, except for the bullshit anime where there is big, fat, enormous girl as the main character, and then just by playing games, being in her bed all day, not going into school, will be slim as hell? Because that's freaking unrealistic. It doesn't happen in real life. You can try it, but I will tell you indefinitely, you will end up in a hospital like I did, because I did that, and it never happened that I become slim after not eating, okay? That's just bullshit. And in anime, every girl is slim, every single one of them, and not every girl has the same curves, and that's something you need to start to accept, damn it. But let's continue. I went on this convention, what was in Czech Republic. I never was on this convention before. I was almost on every single one of them, but on this particular, I never went there because I heard lots of stories like, it's not okay, it's good, you know, like, I wanted to try it myself, so I went there. And I actually enjoyed the convention and everything, but in the end of the day, it was Sunday, it was the last day basically. I was supposed to go home. I was every luggage with me which I had, which was like suitcase and bag. I wasn't even in a costume anymore, so basically people couldn't even recognize me anymore because I wasn't in my costume. And then out of nowhere appeared 4 girls. This is something that I still do remember vividly, that there were 4 of them. Pretty much younger than me, like at least 3-year-old younger. And they started like talk bullshit at first. And then one of them, the kind of highest one, she was even higher than me, she came to me and basically slapped me across my face. And of course it surprised me, so I ended up on the floor, on the pavement of the place where during that time I was, because I was outside of the convention. And it surprised me. I was just like, what the heck? Like, what is wrong with you, girl? And they started to talk about the Lizzy I mentioned before. And I was just like, about who you are talking even? I don't know any Lizzy besides me, because I don't care about other Lizzy. I'm Lizzy too, so I just care about me. I don't care about other Lizzys which exist in this community, because wouldn't be even in the end of it, because as I knew at that time in the Slovak Republic there were like 25 Lizzys with me, and in the Czech Republic there were like double of it, so too much Lizzys for me to handle and knew every single detail about them. And because I never cared, except for my friends, about the cosplay careers and everything, I never cared about strangers and people which I didn't know in person, okay? And I don't want to sound like arrogant or anything, but I didn't search for friends that much in the community. I care about people which I knew before the community actually too much started, okay? And it ended up that the 4 girls basically started to kick me while I was on the floor, and in the end it ended up that the police came, which I didn't know even from where, like who actually like called them or anything. And in the end I found it out that some like group of people went back from like grocery shop or whatever, and they saw what happened and they actually called police, which I was glad for them to do that, because probably to even save my life. I don't know how I would like end up if they wouldn't call police. And it was even much more funnier for me because the girls were actually underage. They weren't 18. Even that, you can go in a jail, I think, when you are not 18, or you can go in a centers or anything in Slovak and Czech. I'm sorry, I'm really not a crime person who knows about every single law in Czech and Slovak, but I knew that they needed to like pay me a pretty big of a money, and I knew that it wasn't like a small amount of money, but they needed to pay my medical bills and everything about that. There wasn't any like court or anything, like we weren't before judge or anything, because we ended up discuss that outside of this, so we don't need to pay for lawyers and these kind of things, which I was actually grateful for that the parents of girls were actually extremely like tolerant, because they already knew that it was their daughter's fault, so like there wouldn't be anything to like do with that. And I was happy for the people who actually called that police and everything, that they came and saved me. And not to mention that I looked like a freaking the punching bag, to be honest, because I had bruises all over my body and everything, and my mom was like freaked out, and then she just told me, I told you this will happen one day. You never knew what could people do, like, at all. And I was like, yeah, mom, I do believe you now. And it was probably, this was the worst experience for me. Like, it's not something what I'm proud of, but I'm happy that it happened, because it opened my eyes even more. And when I moved to England, I actually didn't experience like a community there, even though that I knew few people from the community, but I never went like, you know, investigate through England cosplay community. But it was very funny that when I came back from England, and I actually went on 2 conventions after I came back from England. I wrote that on my Facebook page that I will attend this particular convention, and few people during that time wrote me comments that if I will get there, I will pay for that, like they will punch me and things like that, which I was surprised, because I actually read that during the convention. I was just like, okay, who's looking at me like they want to murder me or anything. And it was even funny because I personally went there to see my friend cosplayer, my friend Abby, to see her and her perfect Arden cosplay. And I met there her friend from Austria, and it was damn good. I was absolutely like that. I met new people, and I met lots of other people, and I was really relieved that I said this to my friend, and she basically helped to organize the whole convention and everything. And I mentioned her that when I went there actually, and I read this in a bus, she was just like, who wrote you that? Look, show me everything. And it was funny, and then she just ended up like, if something like this will happen, I will make sure they will be kicked out, banished for the rest of the convention. I was like, oh, thank you, that's nice from you, but I hope it will never actually happen, because I don't want to went through that again. And I actually ended up like enjoyed the convention till end, and I was happy that I met please, I hope I will say this good, the Serbian cosplayers. I hope I didn't say that, but these are them. Just write me down in the comments if you even knew who they are, because they were lovely. I was so happy to talk with them, at least for a few seconds, minutes, or whatever. I don't remember that at all. It was a long time ago. And I was really, really happy to be there, experience it again, even after what happened to me. With this, I want to even tell you that even when something bad happens to you, you can overcome that. Like, I'm not that young, stupid, naive idiot like I was before, and now I don't care about people, what they're telling about me, because I don't care. Like, I just really, really don't care. And I knew that I'm not going to do cosplay anymore. I do have lots of cosplays which I never finish, and I do think about finishing them, maybe taking them out on convention, but I knew that I don't ever want to be in this kind of industry anymore, because it's so bad and it will never become better. It will be just hate, 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 and it will never actually stop. And it's sad, because people should understand that no one will ever look like the character. I saw lots of great costumes, but if I should actually tell you that you are not good, you will hate me for me being actually critique that you don't have a proportion of a anime character or movie character or game character, because you will never have the same proportion, same size of boobs, same size of shoes. If someone will seriously one day will look like the character, I will be surprised, but no one ever will. And currently everything is Photoshop. Everything. You will not see a single wrinkle on a face. Anything. You won't see the bad things on photos, like ever. You will see just the good, the Photoshop blurred faces which are not even real, and I hate this kind of pictures. That's why I'm not using Photoshop on my pictures like at all. Just when I need to hide like a pimple or bruise or anything, I will hide it with a little bit of blurring, but not blur my wrinkles, which I actually pretty much love, and they're just like something which I have basically all my life, but I will not ever Photoshop anything on me, because I don't need to hide it. And when I see some of these pictures, and I just see the amount of Photoshop which they did there, and I'm not talking about special effects and fire and blah blah blah, but faces, bodies, everything which is Photoshop on body, on face, I don't like. And if I could, I would just dislike every single Instagram photo like this or anything. And I'm happy that my friends don't use Photoshop like that much. Like, they do use that, but not in such amount like few people which I knew in person, and I see they work sometimes and just like, nah, just no dislike button on that if I could. But yeah, this is end of the video. If you didn't like that, please smash the subscribe button, smash the like button. If you will smash subscribe, please just click on that notification bell so you can see every single one of my videos. And tell me your worst story about cosplaying in comments. I will love to read them through and see your own experiences with cosplaying in your community, which you can actually write me to, like, from what community you are. And again, in the end, please, if you are seriously from Slovak or Czech community, don't take this personally. This is my opinion about my experience which happened to me. I'm not proud of it, and I don't hate every single Czech person because of some stupid girls. It's just my experience and me opening my eyes about these communities, that they're not good, not lovely, and definitely just not for my life. Actually, I just don't feel like it anymore. So bye, Munchkins, and see you next time.